Hey everybody, Vinyl Chef Steve here. Today I am going to share with you one of the most exciting inventions to hit consumer kitchens in as long as I can remember. This, my friends, is the GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. Yes, I said indoor smoker. I'm going to unbox it right now, show you what you can expect, and then I'm going to put it together, show you what comes with it, and then we're going to make a brisket. Here's what you can expect when unboxing your GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. That was a very clean and easy unboxing. Okay, here's everything that was inside the box. It all came neatly wrapped and packed. I took off all of the protective wrapping so that I could quickly show you. These are your side rack supports that I'll show you how to install. Comes with 2 of those. Comes with 3 racks that are all interchangeable. Comes with a wire brush for cleaning. This is your counter guard. I'll show you how that slides in. This is your temperature probe with the temperature probe holder. This just wraps around here for storage, and when you're ready to use it, you take it off. And this is magnetic, so it's nice. You can, when you're done with your temperature probe, you wrap it around this and you stick it on the side of your smoker so you don't lose it. Your temperature probe, you've got your GE Profile warranty registration card, a wonderful color booklet with recipes for ribs and you have everything from apple cobbler to desserts and mac and cheese. All kinds of great recipes for things you can smoke in there, briskets and you name it. Comes with a nice pack of pellets. This is a premium blend of wood pellets. You can't smoke without pellets. I think that's nice that they include a package of pellets for you to get started. You've got your drip pan as well here. That goes inside the smoker when you're ready to smoke. And then of course you've got your GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker manual. So those are all the things that come included with the smoker. Now I'll show you a little bit about the unit itself. Okay, the dimensions of the smoker are 16.5 in width, 16.5 in height, and the depth of the unit is 20 inches from the handle to the rear bumpers that keep the unit off of the wall. You've also got a 3-prong commercial 32-inch power cord. That's a nice length for the unit to have. And you've got your waste bin right here. The waste bin is used to collect the pellets that have been smoked and used and discarded into this chamber here that you fill up with water about halfway or a quarter of the way, and makes it easy to discard when the smoking process is over. So that slides in there. Now let's go inside. The internal dimensions of where you can actually smoke food are 11 inches deep by 8 inches wide by 9 inches high. Okay, the rack supports are interchangeable. They can go on either side, but they do have a top and bottom. And the bottom has these 2 indentations you can see right here. And there's 2 brackets down there. So we're gonna slide this first one in on the bottom like so. That goes on the bottom. As you can see, this right here, this right here. When you bring it here, you're going to have to push down to get it to go underneath. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Underneath here is your heating element. You can see there, that's just a cover that stays stationary. Your drip pan goes in. Drip pan on this side. See how it's, the fat side is over here. It's offset, so this just sits on that bottom rack there. So your drip pan is in place, and then your shelving slides in on the bottom there. There's one, and they're evenly spaced. You can put the next one there, and then you got your third shelf right here on the top. So you can see those are fairly evenly spaced. You can put it on the top, on the very top, if you like, and you can remove these, and you can hang and smoke sausages in there. So that's, you just tie off your sausages to the top, and you can have stuff hanging down. You can just put in 2 racks if you want. If you're only gonna do, you know, two things, slide in those 2 like so. So it's pretty multi-faceted there. Here's your spring-loaded probe opening there. So when you're ready to smoke your meat, you just open up the probe hole and insert your temperature probe in there. And then your temperature probe goes into your meat. Be sure to remove this sticker as recommended before using the unit. There's also a warning right there. I guess that means the same thing as this. Hot surface. This is your pellet hopper right here, where you're gonna put 2 cups of wood pellets of your choice. And there's the pellet hopper. You put your pellets in there and you close the pellet hopper door. This is your counter guard, and this is just to prevent discoloration, I guess, from any heat. This is your vent down here, so there might be some heat coming out of there. But this is your counter guard, and it just slides right under, just like that. This is just a display sticker that's over the actual real display. So you just want to pull that off gently over the knob, and there's your display screen. I'm going to show you how to use the control panel just a little bit. I'm not going to go into any extreme advanced details, but I will show you the basics of the machine. And first and foremost, you need to plug your GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker in, and then your power button is right down here in the lower right hand corner. When you press that, the knob will illuminate, and it always starts in the keep warm mode. This button right here is also a toggle switch or a toggle knob. Turn it to the right and you've got your brisket setting. Again, pork butt. Again, pork ribs, wings, chicken, and salmon. All things that come with preset settings inside to cook and smoke those products. If you go one more to the right, it's customized. That's gonna come at a later date because I haven't even gotten into the basics yet. So we're gonna go to brisket, since I'm gonna be making a brisket. When you choose, find the mode you wanna cook in, then you press the button and it comes up with automatic settings. I've played with this a little bit already, so I reduced my probe target to 193 degrees. It comes with 195 degree setting. So if you don't want to use the internal probe to let you know when your meat is ready, the probe and time toggle is down here. So you press that and that goes away. So now you're just smoking with a cook time and the internal temperature of the smoker, which is set automatically at 225 for brisket. So you can choose if you want a 6-hour cook, a 12-hour cook, and then if you want to adjust the temperature, you could also do that. So you could toggle the switch over to the smoker temp, and then you depress the button, and that will allow you to change the temperature there to whatever, 205. It goes as low as 170. And it goes as high as, let's see, 300. So those are temperature ranges, 170 to 300 degrees. So a great smoking temperature is 225. We're gonna keep it at that for the brisket. The smoke level is down here, so if you want to do that, press the button again to confirm your smoker temperature internally, and then scroll down to the smoke level. Press the button. Whenever the arrows are illuminating, that means you can change the level of whatever item you're in. So if we want to go down, we don't want that much smoke, we can go down to smoke level 2. Press the button. Now you're at smoke level 2. If you want more smoke, go up to 5. That's the maximum smoke level of the machine. Press the button to lock that in. I do want to cook with the internal temperature probe, so I'm going to depress that button, and I've already got it set for an internal temp of 193 degrees. So when I press start, the machine is going to warm up and come up to temp, and then it's going to start smoking. Of course, I will add my smoke pellets to the smoke hopper, pellet hopper, and I'll add my water to my waste bin here so that the pellets can drop down in there and make for an easy cleanup. You've got a light right there for inside, you can see what's going on. And then at any time throughout the smoking process, you would like to open this door. If you don't want to get a house full of smoke smell, there's a clear smoke button right there. You hit that clear smoke button and it will start a vacuum process and remove all the smoke from the chamber, so that you can then open the door and your house isn't going to smell like a campfire. And then once you're done, you hit the button again and it will resume smoking. You've got your light there. There's a settings knob for some stuff I haven't really looked into yet, but I'm going to go ahead and I want to go back to getting my brisket ready. My settings are ready to go. The auto warm is on. There's an auto warm button right there, so it'll automatically keep the brisket warm once it's done cooking and the internal temperature has reached 195 or 193, I'm sorry. Once the internal temperature of my brisket reaches 193, the 225 degree temperature will cut off and it will reduce down to whatever we have set in the keep warm. Let's go up to the, let's see here. Go up here to the mode, and then let's go over to the keep warm. Press the button there. Right now the smoker temperature for keeping it warm is at 160 degrees. So it'll keep it warm indefinitely until you come back and pull your brisket out of there. All right, so let's go back up to keep warm. We go back to our brisket and press the button, and our brisket settings come back up again. So that's all we're gonna do today, folks, I'm gonna prepare the brisket now, and then we're gonna set it in here, press the start button, and then we'll come back when it's done. Here I have a 12-pound USDA prime brisket. I'm gonna trim the fat and make some tallow. That's basically rendered beef fat. Some people call it beef butter, and I'll show you how to use that when the brisket is done. So we'll get it nice and trimmed up, and then we're gonna cut the brisket in half because it won't fit in the smoker lengthwise. We'll score it lightly and season it with some rub that I made. You can make your own rub. We'll cover it with some foil and put it on a cookie sheet and let it rest overnight in the refrigerator and start to cook it in the morning. It's time to get our brisket into the smoker, but before we do that, we have to prime the auger. And that's the mechanism inside of the pellet hopper that pulls the wood pellets into the area where they get heated up, I believe. So that's the first thing you have to do. And in order to do that, you need first some wood pellets. These are the wood pellets that came with the smoker. They call it a premium blend. So I'm sure it's a mix of different, hickory, mesquite, and all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna try our first test run with the Arden GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker with the pellets that they send, and we'll see how they work. So the first thing you're gonna do is open up your pellet hopper door there, and this is about 2 cups of pellets. It holds just over 2 cups, and so we'll just go ahead and add them in here. All right, here we go. They're in there, and then we'll close our pellet hopper door. On the menu screen, we're gonna go to settings. And over here, we're gonna toggle to the right, and we've got pellets, auger. Click the button, and then press dial to prime. So we'll come back in 1 minute and 40 seconds, and then we'll add our water. Okay, the priming of the auger is complete, and we're gonna go ahead and take out our waste bin or our water dispenser here, and then we're gonna fill up our container here with water to about, I'm gonna go ahead, not to the max. There's a couple of lines in here. There's a minimum and a maximum. I'm gonna do it just below the maximum. So I got my container full there. Go ahead and put it back into the smoker. Okay, so there is a wrong way and a right way to put this back into. So these little ridges need to be on the outside, facing the back, it looks like. Yep. So let's see, now it should go in correctly. Yep, there you go. Right, so our smoker is back on. Now we're ready to smoke, actually. Only thing we have to do now is put a brisket in here. So here's my brisket that I sliced in 2, and I put my rub on last night, and I let it sit in the fridge overnight. I took it out at 4 a.m. to let it rest a little bit and come closer to room temperature before putting it in the smoker. And now we're gonna put it in the smoker. I'm gonna spray my grates with a little bit of Pam, just for good measure. Okay, we've got our drip pan in place. We've got our probe plugged in. I've got the point is going to go up top. Slide that in. Now we've got our flat. We're going to put this on the bottom rack down here. Actually, we could bring this down. It looks like, let's see where the best place for this is. That actually looks better right there. I think that looks good. I'm gonna put my probe in the flat. Okay, we got our probe in. Close the door. Press the brisket button. I've already got my levels set and everything's ready to go. Auto warm is on. Now all I gotta do is press start. At this point, press the knob to confirm that you have added water, and then press the knob again to confirm you've added pellets. Now it's preheating. Now we just walk away. It's 7 a.m. in the morning. We'll come back and find out when it's done. I'll take it out and show you how it looks. From my experience, the machine takes approximately 30 minutes to preheat. You can see the smoke coming out of the vent and just caressing that meat. The brisket's done. It's been in the smoker for 6 hours. I'm gonna take it out and double wrap it in foil with some tallow on the top and bottom, and then put it back in the smoker and keep it on the warm mode for about 3 hours until my wife gets home for dinner and I can feed my queen. That looks pretty good. Let's see what the results are. Well, unfortunately, I didn't press record when I. Here's the point. Looks pretty darn good. That's juicy, and it's got a nice bark on it. Look at that. That's a good looking piece of brisket. Nice bark on there. Tender, juicy. See that juice running? Look at that. Yeah. That's a nice piece of brisket there. Now that's the point that I forgot to press record on when I sliced it. Oof. That looks pretty good too. Let's see how this came out. That looks pretty good. Nice bark on there. Juicy. I'd say this is a definite victory for my first time. See, it's nice and juicy in there. Yeah, it's a good piece of brisket there. Not bad for my first time. Looking forward to doing it again. Full transparency here. How do I feel about the Arden GE Profile Indoor Smoker? It's amazing. It's really amazing. The smoke that it delivered to the meat was incredible. You could really taste the beautiful smoke on the brisket. It seemed to cook pretty evenly. However, I will say this, it didn't go as planned. And the video that I watched, which was Rick from First Build, I will leave a link in the description to the video that he does for brisket. And I followed those instructions to a T. all the way down to having a brisket that was just 1 pound over the weight of his. I had a 12-pound brisket. He had an 11-pound brisket. I made the tallow. I had the settings exactly as he did. I used the probe cook method for 193 degrees internal temperature, 225 degrees in the cavity, and smoke level of 5. I did all those things. I inserted the probe into the flat and pressed start, and was expecting, based on the time frames in his video, after all was said and done, this amount of time that it took to smoke his brisket seemed to be about 5 hours. So I set the brisket in the smoker, turned it on at 7:30. Okay, let's go back. I preheated the smoker with the brisket inside. The preheat process takes about 30 minutes. So by 7:30, the temperature was 225 in the smoker, and it had started to smoke the brisket. So 7:30, I left the house and I came back. And before I left, I had noticed that the temperature of the probe was kind of, before, like within an hour, it was already at like 175. And I thought, that seems kind of high already. So I just, I went with it. I left, came back 3 hours later, around 10:30, and it was in the warming phase already. So I thought to myself, there's no possible way that this 12-pound brisket cooked in 3 hours. And so, for fear of the meat being undercooked, I opted to continue cooking the brisket. So I did some math and I subtracted. I figured, okay, he had his in for 5 hours. Mine was in for 3 hours. It's a bigger brisket. I'm short 2 hours of cook time according to his video. And so what I did was I switched from, which is a great feature in the Arden, I switched from the probe cooking method to the time cooking method. And I added 3 more hours to the cook time, because I was going to add an additional hour since my brisket was a little bit larger. And so I put it on for 3 more hours at the same temperature, 225, smoke level the same. And actually, I think I dropped the smoke level at that point to 4, just in case. And the brisket came out overcooked. It was very edible. It was the worst, best tasting brisket I've ever had. It still had some juice in it, but the flat did dry out. It was pretty dry, and even the point wasn't as moist and tender as it could have been. So I'm not sure if the probe, inserting the probe into a flat can be really tricky. You only have a couple of inches to play with. So if you go too far, or too close to one of the ends, or you don't get it inserted the right way, I guess it could affect the temperature in a way that is not beneficial to the cooking process. That's the only thing I can think of that I didn't do correctly. So if you know of any other reason why the temperature was rising too fast using the probe method, please let me know in the comments. So I think it's just going to be trial and error. The machine itself is fantastic. It does everything that they say that it does. It delivers. It delivers quality smoke flavoring. I will say this, your house will smell. It does. It doesn't not smell like smoke. You can smell the smoke. It's not horrendous. It actually smells good because you're also smelling the meat cooking. But you will have a little bit of smoke smell in your home. However, no smoke residue, no billowing smoke, nothing like that. It's nothing like having a outdoor smoker inside of your home. So just know that going into it, that if you absolutely do not want the smell of smoke in your house, this is not for you. But if you can live with it, and it's like, to me, it's perfume. It's like a beautiful smell, and it doesn't last, forever. It's gone by the morning. That would be the only other thing that I would say. Another thing that I think that they could do if they continue to want to improve the machine is to put a light on the bottom sideways so that you can also see the bottom rack. Because when you have two racks up here, like my brisket, I could only see the point when I turned on the light, because when the light there's no light down here, it's blocked by whatever's on top. So I couldn't really see my flat. That's the only real improvement that I can see them making. Everything else is excellent. So I just wanted to be completely honest with you. I know I can do this better, and I'm going to have a lot of fun trying. Like anything else, it's trial and error, and you yourself will have to experiment with the machine and find your groove with it. But I'm really glad I bought it, and I hope that if you're an avid smoker outdoors, and I know very little, I'm a beginner smoker, so I could see this in the hands of an advanced guy, just being able to fine tune it and loving the fact that he can smoke indoors when there's 3 or 4 feet of snow outside. So definitely worth the investment, and I will be doing many more videos using this machine with some really interesting food ideas. Alrighty, just thought I should be upfront and honest with you guys, and yeah, we ate it. It tasted great. We put some barbecue sauce on it, and I roasted some cauliflower, and we had a really nice meal. I will say that the machine definitely delivers. Great bark and smoke ring. Practice makes perfect. So for not being an everyday or a normal smoker, I am very pleased at my first attempt to smoke brisket. I think you guys will enjoy this product too. Check them out. You can buy them online direct from GE. Wow. I can't believe it. So tender, so much flavor. And cleanup, an absolute breeze. Just an amazing invention. Best thing to come along in a very long time. Thank you, First Build. Thank you, GE. Thanks for watching. This is Vinyl Chef Steve. Bye for now.